I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now, because I am about to tell you things about the baby growing inside you, things that are going to make you think, wait, they were doing that inside me? Yes, they were, and the science to prove it is absolutely extraordinary. Number 1, your baby practices breastfeeding in the womb. The sucking and swallowing reflex that your newborn uses to feed from the very first hour of life is not something that switches on at birth. It is a skill your baby has been rehearsing for months, practicing on their own fingers, on their thumb, on amniotic fluid, so that when they finally arrive and are placed on your chest, they already know what to do. They showed up prepared. They were practicing for you. Which brings us perfectly to number 2, because yes, your baby sucked their thumb in the womb, with what 4D ultrasound footage confirms is genuine preference and contentment. From around 12 weeks, babies begin bringing their hands to their mouths. By the second trimester, many babies have a clearly preferred thumb. And here's the wild part. Whichever thumb they prefer in the womb often turns out to predict which hand they will favor as a child. Your baby had a comfort habit and a personality quirk before they ever took a breath. That tiny person was already completely themselves. Number 3, and this one makes every parent's jaw drop when they hear it. Your baby drank amniotic fluid every single day, up to 3 cups of it, and then they peed it back out, right there, in the womb, into the same fluid, which they then drank again. I know, but here's why this matters beyond the shock factor. This continuous cycle of swallowing and urinating is how your baby's kidneys, bladder, and digestive system develop and mature in preparation for life outside the womb. They were not just floating peacefully. They were actively working, eating, processing, and eliminating, running a fully functioning internal system months before birth. Number 4, they smiled and frowned based on what you ate. And this one comes with actual footage, because Durham University captured it on 4D ultrasound, and it is the most astonishing thing you will ever see. Researchers gave pregnant mothers either carrot or kale, and then scanned their babies shortly after. The babies exposed to carrot showed distinct laughter face expressions, relaxed, open, pleasant. The babies exposed to kale, cry face, scrunched, unhappy. Your baby was sitting inside you, tasting your meals and making faces about them. Every lunch, every dinner, every late-night snack. And here's the part that should genuinely motivate you. Those taste experiences are already forming your baby's food preferences. The foods you eat consistently during pregnancy are the foods your child is most likely to accept and enjoy after birth. You are shaping their palate right now. Number 5, your baby cried in the womb. Not a sound you could hear, completely silent. But researchers using sensitive ultrasound equipment captured babies demonstrating the full physical sequence of crying: the breath pattern, the facial expression, the open mouth, the trembling lower lip in response to unpleasant stimuli. That very first cry in the delivery room that makes every parent burst into tears, your baby had been rehearsing it for months. They were not crying because they were distressed at birth. They were performing something they had already mastered. When you heard that first cry, you were hearing a graduate, not a beginner. Number 6, by 24 weeks, your baby could hear your voice clearly. Research shows that when babies in the womb hear their mother's voice, their heart rate measurably slows, their movements calm, their body stills. In a world of constant noise, the rush of blood, the sound of your organs, the muffled world outside, your voice was a sound that meant safety. That meant home. This is why newborns placed on their mother's chest stop crying faster than with anyone else. That voice is the most familiar thing they have ever heard. You were soothing your baby for months before you even knew it was working. Number 7, and if you are currently pregnant, you have almost certainly already felt this. That rhythmic, repetitive little jolt that happens over and over again with precise timing. That is your baby hiccuping. And they do it a lot. Fetal hiccuping is not random or meaningless. It is an essential part of respiratory development. Each hiccup is your baby's diaphragm contracting, strengthening, and training itself for the breathing it will need to do the moment it enters the world. Every little jolt you feel is your baby literally doing their respiratory exercises. They were working out. Inside you. Number 8, Contagious yawning, that social mirroring behavior where you yawn, because someone near you yawned, has long been associated with empathy, emotional attunement, and social bonding. Studies found that fetuses were significantly more likely to yawn within about 90 seconds of their mother yawning, already mirroring you, already physically reacting to your bodily changes, already connected to your rhythms, in ways that go far beyond what we used to think. Number 9. Whether your child will be right-handed or left-handed is not decided after birth. Research shows that babies display a preferred hand in the womb, sucking one thumb more than the other, reaching more frequently with one arm, and that this preference in the womb strongly predicts a hand dominance they will carry for the rest of their life. Your baby had a dominant hand and an emerging personality trait before they were born. Think about that. The first time you notice whether your toddler reached with their left or right hand, that preference was already there, forming quietly in the womb. Number 10. The long-held belief in medicine was that babies in the womb are essentially defenseless, entirely reliant on the mother's immune system for protection. Research from Duke NUS Medical School completely dismantled that assumption. Scientists discovered that the fetal immune system is not dormant. It is active, functional, and capable of independently combating infections in the baby's own developing nervous system long before birth. Your baby was not just growing inside you. They were defending themselves inside you. Number 11. Researchers fitted newborns with EEG sensors, devices that measure brain electrical activity, and exposed them to words they had been repeatedly exposed in the womb versus new words they had never heard. The brain responses were distinct, measurable, and unambiguous. The womb-familiar words produced different neurological patterns. Fetal memory is not just behavioral. It is structural. It shows up on a brain scan. The words spoken consistently around your bump are being filed away into your baby's developing brain architecture. They are being stored, and they are shaping who your child becomes before they take their first breath. Number 12. Research found that newborns of bilingual mothers respond to sound differently than newborns of monolingual mothers, with measurably broader sensitivity to acoustic variation in speech. Their brains had already been wired in the womb to process a richer and more complex sound landscape. The language environment inside your womb is actively reshaping your baby's neural architecture before they say a single word. Your baby, from as early as 24 or 28 weeks, cycles through REM sleep, the same sleep stage in which humans dream. Scientists believe that if your baby dreams, those dreams are likely sensory: the sound of your heartbeat, the taste of your food, the vibration of your voice. And your baby's brain was producing measurable electrical brain waves as early as 6.5 weeks after conception, not at birth, not at viability. 6.5 weeks after fertilization, your baby's brain was already active. What does all of these mean? It means that the baby you are carrying, or the baby you once carried, was never passive, never simply waiting. They were tasting, hearing, remembering, practicing, defending, dreaming, learning your language, and developing a personality, all before the world ever saw their face. You were never just pregnant. You were already in a relationship, already being known, already being loved, in the only language a baby in the womb has available to them, and they were already loving you back. If this video made you see your pregnancy or your child differently today, share it with every parent you know. Drop in the comments which one shocked you the most. I genuinely want to know, and subscribe, because we go this deep into the science of pregnancy and motherhood every single week. I will see you in the next one.